Welcome back for the mobile gaming fanatics. MyTyme here. This is Top Drives, and first of all, hopefully you all did manage to get one token from the free qualifier events to give yourself an opportunity to win that lovely Citroen GT from the GT finals. We will actually start there. There has been a post put up by Hutch themselves to say that the GT finals round 22 ended up being a lot tougher than they had anticipated. Now, while people did manage to get past it on the previous 360 RQ limit, they did change it to 375 now to enable people to get through. Now, I got through with the 375 limit. I believe I was still stuck when it was 360, so they have made that amendment, but they have also gone out and said these kind of challenges are supposed to test people's garages and diversity, and as a result we are supposed to expect tougher situations moving forward for some of the best prizes. But I think they admitted on this occasion it was maybe just slightly harder than they had anticipated. So hopefully, if you were stuck on round 22 and you haven't been to check it recently, there is an extra 15 RQ now, which I will show you the team I used to get through and which order I used the cars. I did have some of the carbon fibers that I've managed to collect along the way over the last few days, but because I didn't get anything good out of them, I won't bother to show you them. So the GT Open, if you manage to get all the way to the end, you do get the Ford 150 Lightning. There's also an aluminium pack which you can potentially get a super rare from, premium pack, and obviously all the cash. So that's open for everyone. All of you who were lucky enough to get 3 of the tokens, then you can also work your way along, and as well as getting the Arcadia at the end, you get a driver's choice premium, you get a Nissan Silvia ultra rare, so that's good, it's another ultra rare car, and you get a European Revolution carbon fiber as well as the Epic itself. Now I do have one of these GMCs, don't need to keep it, it's going to be fused for me, but still nice extra rewards there. Carbon fiber, so that's a guaranteed Epic, carbon fiber, another ultra rare, as well as a premium pack. As I said, unfortunately I didn't get anything good from these packs, everything maxed out at an ultra rare, which is why I didn't hold on to them, or hold on to show them should I say. And also you got the monthly challenge again. You can go through the ARC 7th May one, we can come and finish that. There are some slots up for grabs as well as another ceramic pack, so plenty of packs and rewards for you to collect here. And if you're fortunate enough to have the spiders, which I don't, I only have one Alfa Romeo Spider S3, if you have 2 of them, then you can get another carbon fiber pack potentially here, as well as a ceramic pack at the end. For me though, unable to get that, so we just have to leave it. Let's go back and have a look at the GT series. Now I was going to do the final level, have a look at it and get the car potentially on camera. This could obviously go wrong, I may not have the cars to do it, but first of all I'm going to show you the team that I used to complete round 22. Okay, and the biggest point people have found is beating the second track set. Now I can't show you the track set here because I've already gone through and done it, but if you imagine where the cars are lined up, you've got your race 1, race 2, race 3, race 4 and race 5, with race 2 being against the VW all 4-wheel drive standard tires. Now you can't put a different version of that car in. I will show you. I did try a wasted fuse material. I wasted fuses building a 233 Phaeton to see if that could actually win, and it doesn't. So I was originally using my Porsche 911 against it, and I've put another upgrade into its handling. I don't even use this car now to complete the track set, so could say it's a waste of 3 epics upgrading it. It is a car I'm going to max out kind of soonish anyway, because I use this car a lot, so I might as well. But I've upgraded it, didn't actually need it. So what I've gone and done, first of all, we have the BMW, which is 4-wheel drive performance tyres. I believe it's 4.189. I'm using my maxed out BMW M6 Grand Coupe. Okay, that's a victory. Now in order to beat the VW, I've gone with my BMW 750 X-Drive, which is already maxed out. Now you don't need to have a maxed out one of these. I think you can do it on around 2.3, 2.3, 2.3, somewhere like there, because this car does win 83 handling. It's just better than the Volkswagens, so you don't need to max it out. Round 3 is where you can save a bit of RQ. You're up against one of the BMWs. The BMW 330D does in fact beat it. So this car can do the hairpin road, allow you to save a bit of RQ. I then went and used my Mercedes, which is just 1.3 all the way through, the electric, to beat the Maybach, and it does just about do that. And then finally, for the last 0 to 100 back to 0, I use my AMG, again 1.3, 1.3, 1.3. Now you could have some other cars, again you can use the AMG SLS, that would also do the trick. You could also throw in the Porsche 911 if you were able to find another car to do this and, you know, save yourself the RQ. At the moment you wouldn't be able to because I've only got one RQ left. If you had a max out Porsche Cayman, that can probably come in here instead of the possibly, don't quote me, this could possibly come in instead of the M6. But aside from that, I don't have any of the other cars, which could, none of these other cars I can even consider. So if you've got some of the other, the Audis, etc., then you can possibly use some of those. But for me, I only had a couple of ways of going about this, and that was the team that actually got me there in the end. Now for this final one, I'm going to imagine it's not going to be quite as challenging as the previous round, so let's just get through it. Anyway, I can see that I can pull in my Mercedes. I saw that. I don't think I need you. We'll just as I put my upgrade into the Porsche, let's use it. So it should be a case of 1, 2. Oh, I don't like what's happening here actually. 3. I do not like the look of this. I'm gonna take that electric out. Not the car I'd really want to be using in this event. Okay, we'll start again. So fortunate enough to have enough legendaries that I can get myself through this fairly comfortably. So for a while, I'll be honest, I did think I was going to miss out on the GT because I got very narrow sighted. I was convinced I was going to be using my Porsche, so that was 93 RQ I had already tied up and was pretty certain I had to use somewhere along the line, and that made it difficult for me. As you saw in the end, I got through it without using the Porsche, and saving that RQ allowed me to bring in a couple of cars to actually get through the rounds. So definitely if you've got this car, although it can help you in that round 22, I think it's too much RQ based. I actually think it's a hindrance, and that's what's got me stuck for a while, trying to find a way to get past it, just thinking that car was a dead cert pick, where clearly it wasn't. So there we go, the Citroen GT is now in my possession. Extremely happy about that. I'll be honest with you, I don't think that this way of playing has been too bad at all, because it has been, I'd say, fairly exciting isn't the word I want to use, but I'd say interesting. Now you've got to remember, if this was a legitimate normal tri-series finals, only the top 10 would get a prize card, which would be about 2% of the field that enters. So this way, if you weren't guaranteed a top 10 place, and you've got a chance to still get the car. Now don't forget, the challenges are still open for a couple more days. Should show you still got 2.5 days to go to complete this, so you don't have to rush it. There's plenty of time to do some fuses, etc. if you need to. Anyone who would have got a top 10 is probably still likely to have the garage to be able to complete this anyway. So I honestly think it is going to open up the opportunity for more people to claim this card than they would do in a regular tri-series event. But some people won't like this because of how difficult it is. But I honestly do think it helps you to know what you've got to do. Whereas in a tri-series final where you're against other people, the track sets change, the people you come up against change. You know, you can't really ever be certain of what you need to progress or to get into the top 10. Where here you can see the track set, you can see the cars, and you know what you have got to beat. So I think that will help people in order to them being able to get this car. Now in terms of other events that are actually up and running at the moment, because of this, we've had quite a lot going on with the qualifiers. Now we've got a bit of a dry weekend coming to a close. We've got saloon rides up here, which is all Mercedes, all saloon. Now, given that the prices are only ceramics, these are events that I haven't really been playing too much. You can see here 17 for 17. I'll show you the lineup. You want to bring in all your Mercedes, and then you got to bring in 3 saloons as well. But for me, I have kind of bought in the best Mercs that I can, with the exception of the ones that I haven't upgraded, and then filled it out with 2 of my best cars that fit the RQ requirement I had left over. So we'll skip one and go. This is the kind of event where I will move up and get knocked down, move up, get knocked down, and it's just a cycle like that. So for me, looking at this probably looks something like a nice easy defeat. We take 1, we might win on the test bowl. Fast, this isn't, we're going to lose a few here, aren't we? Pretty much going to lose that, I think. We lose that. We take a victory here, we lose here, and we're going to lose overall. So yeah, I was just, to be honest with you, playing for the GT challenge parts. Yeah, that's what's kept me in it. Like, I don't know where I won, not too sure where I got that deferred victory, never mind. Yeah, so there's that to play. There's also a Japanese event, inspired event, which again, not doing particularly well. Only ceramic packs up for grabs, using a lot of Japanese cars, and as you can see, I don't have too many great cars. I'm missing a few of the key ones. Specifically, don't have a maxed out Integra, I don't have the Integra Type R, I don't have the Civic. I think I do have a Civic Type R actually. Do I not? Maybe I don't. No, maybe I haven't got the Civic Type R. So yeah, again, lots of people. I don't have a maxed out Honda Accord Type R yet. Lots of people using pretty much the same kind of cars. So yeah, again, it is what it is. It's one of those events where lots of the same kind of cars are going to be being used, but it's a good one for people who maybe have struggled in the recent qualifiers because they haven't had good cars. Lots of people are going to have a lot of these middle kind of ranged Japanese cars lurking in their garage, so expect pretty much everyone to be using the same kind of cars. And I'd imagine if you are going to get in towards the top 10, there's going to be lots of jostling of positions because people are going to be very similarly set up, and it's going to literally be the case of kind of having one car over the other, which is going to help you to either be in pole position or not. So that's just basically a catch up from the weekend. If you do want to enter into my competition with a chance to win either of those 2 Google or Apple Play vouchers, I will leave a link in the description below. Go to that video, post your comment saying which 2 premium packs you would like me to purchase, along with what car you think I will get from the epic range, and then I will be drawing one of those in my next video. As I said, please do not leave that comment specifically on this video because it will not be included. It must be on the previous video. Link again will be in the description. Now just before we go, I thought I would do a 5-time ceramic pack opening. I've got quite a bit of cash saved up. I haven't been opening ceramic packs. They've all been coming from basically the events or from the challenges or just from rewards. I've not been sat here opening packs consistently like I would normally do. Instead, I've been working on cars. I've actually been investing my cash into my cars. So for example, I've gone through, I don't think I've done it with all my super rares, so I'm not going to say I have, but definitely all my ultra rares. I've unlocked every single ultra rare which isn't maxed out or a prize car, because I do have some prize cars that I haven't worked on, and I'm not going to fuse the prize cars away. But for all the other cars, if they're not maxed out, even if they're a car I want to build, I've unlocked them and I've kept them open to potentially be fused into cars if I want to get that car maxed out. Because my theory is if I haven't yet maxed you out, then I am probably going to be able to live without you. So I'm working on ultra rares as we currently speak, and then once they're maxed out, they get saved. So we're going through the 5. Oh, that's good. We've at least got 2 ultra rares from this, so that's pretty good. So for this roof turbo, for example, it's going to go straight into the pool, and I either have to work on it or leave it to be potentially fused away. And the bird cage, okay, we won't need a second bird cage, but what I will do then here is I will go in and I will show you in just a moment. Let me just add these cars to the prize pool and I will give you an idea of what I'm doing. Now this is kind of different to what I was doing previously, but I've decided this will help focus me more. If you see, we've got 146 locked cars. Just to give you an idea, they're all going to be 3 stars, with the exception of any prize cars which maybe I'm not using. I know the Di Tommaso is a good example. Here we go, not used it yet, so haven't worked on it. Everything else is maxed out. Now if I then compare that to my unlocked ones, and you will see I'm working on my Ford Escort Rally spec. My Ford Escort Rally spec is now maxed out, so I can lock it, and just to make sure that I know, yes, I haven't used it yet, but I will invest my gold into it. So this will be 3 stars, it'll be maxed out, and it's in my garage. So I'm not going to accidentally fuse this away now. This car is in there, it is set, ready to be used. However, any other cars that I have here, even if I want to build the RDX, even if I want to build the BMW convertible or the Peugeot RCZ, which I've been talking about for such a long time, until I decide to work on them and put my super rares into them, they are staying unlocked, because then I can just come pick them up and put them straight into any ultra rares that I need. Plus I also know that if anything comes up at the moment, any of these cars I can probably do without, because I'm not rushing to max them out. With that said, I feel that I do want to max out the RDX and have it in the garage, so start to work on it. But again, the same thing will happen here. If something came up, if some major event came up and I was like, wow, I really need the I really need to put some fuses into a car or something, and I'd already done a couple of fuses into the RDX but hadn't finished it out, I would go and fuse it. If it was going to help me do something else, the car would get fused. So that stays like that. And I think I was doing the same, to be honest with you, with my super rares. Now this is going to probably backfire to me because there's a lot of super rares, but so far these are all maxed out. Okay, the Renault is as well, it just needs to be leveled up. There we go, so we'll get you done. I think my plan was to only have cars in here which are maxed out. I think, oh okay, we haven't, no, we haven't gone to that stage with this yet. No, okay, we're working on it, but that will leave me a lot of cars unlocked if I did that. But tier by tier, so eventually I'm just going to be able to go through, and all locked cars will be maxed out or prize cars, and all unlocked cars will be there to be fused away. And that also then encourages me, if there's a car I really want to work on, I'm going to think, yep, let me come in, let me build you and then lock you and get you in my garage, rather than having these cars which just sitting there for week after week after week and you forget to upgrade them. Then the event comes around, you're like, oh, it's too late now because, you know, I've not upgraded you, I'll use something else instead. Anyway, I've been MyTyme. Thank you very much for watching. As ever, if you enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comments section below. Don't forget, if you want to enter to the draw, to put a comment on my previous video, link will be in the description down below. Let me know how you got me the Citroen GT. Hopefully you've been able to get past that round 22 and be able to add it to your garage, and I will be back very soon. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, people. Take care.